Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Maku.
Kobayashi.
Episode 17 for Blue Lock. Go ahead and pop it up first, Kobayashi.
But to specifically start us off, Isagi passes it to Baro. At this point, they're still 1-0 down. Baro controls the ball, obviously. And then Isagi actually makes a good run, shifting his body, luring in Rio. And then he just breaks past him because he shifted his body. And Isagi's wide open, but Baro still stubborn, keeps on trying to rely on himself. And he didn't even look at Isagi's way. And then Kunigami's like, oh, this is too easy. And steals the ball off Baro. And he's just dribbling. And he was in his mid-range shot area. And he just makes it 2-0 from there.
So it was 2-0. At this point, Baru was he wasn't confused, but he was just looking up, and Nagi kind of went over to him, and he ended up saying, "This is why you gotta look up. You just gotta pass." And Baru, he was just sticking to his guns. He's not gonna pass. That's what he's been saying that the entirety of this episode. And I mean, it comes back to bite him really hard because I mean, this episode is actually kind of cool. I ain't gonna cap.
But back to kickoff, they're 2-0 down Isagi's team. Isagi knows now he have to like rely on a two-man game, so him and Nagi. So he plays his so he's scanning the field and he sees Baru like with like a bunch of like skulls or like, you know.
Yeah, so Isagi now has like, he's trying to adapt, right? He's trying to use his ability to adapt, but he's not fully understanding it because he was looking up in the pitch and he sees on Baru there's just a path of skulls and bones and like quote unquote death. Yeah. Like basically just gonna give up the ball if I pass it that way. And then he looks at Isagi, or not Isagi's, but he looks at Nagi's way, and there's like mirages of him like just getting the ball from Isagi and taking touch. So he ends up picking one of them, and he did this like Brazilian-esque touch,
like a Neymar signature type.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's probably why I said Brazilian. He did Neymar signature touch, and since Chigiri was hawking him down, he ended up controlling it towards Chigiri, so that way he can kill his momentum and he'll just go right past him. At that point now, Nagi ended up blasting it in, and now this is where it's 2-1.
2-1, yes.
Obviously, this wasn't the full showcase of the other team, so what ended up happening is that this dude Rio was still spiteful. He ended up talking to Isagi, saying, "Why did he pick you? Why did he pick you?
Well, what makes you special?"
Yeah, like, bro,
why can't it be me?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly like it's such a kiddish way to think. But I mean, even Isagi, I think he actually said that. He was like, "What's with this guy?" Yeah. And so Rio ended up passing it to Chigiri. Chigiri was just blistering past the wing, but Nagi was kind of getting a hang of how to stop Chigiri. Because suppose he like slows down a lot with the ball.
Yeah. So whenever you trap the ball, momentum slows down.
Yeah.
So he caught up to Chigiri, but Chigiri's like, "Oh, I'm not like Baru. I'm not selfish." So he crosses the ball in.
Yeah. Kunigami, he just ended up. I actually remembered his name. Look at that.
Kunigami.
Yeah. So Kunigami ended up just leaping like a silly salmon. Just ended up crossing it in, or
very
not crossing
powerful
it.
Too.
Very like a very strong header. Yeah. I forgot who did that in real life. There's someone that reminded me of that header, but it was like a very powerful header, but it went in. Either way, you guys can let us know in the comments down below. I forgot who it was.
But at that point, it's 3-1, and then Isagi is just basically thinking like, if I keep passing to Nagi, they're gonna cash onto it. Basically pointless.
Exactly. So then he ended up talking to Baru at this point, and he ended up saying, "Dude, we gotta link up here, man. We can't just like, we just can't, you know what I'm saying? Like we can't.
Yeah, we gotta play as a team.
Yeah, we can't just rely on you as the main head honcho. You know what I'm saying?" And he was like, "Bro, I'm not gonna adapt to you. We're both egoists here, so I'm not gonna follow your path, and you're not gonna follow mine." So then Isagi had the brilliant idea of thinking, "All right, 3-1 down. What I'm doing is not working. So instead of trying to adapt the playstyle or adapt to everyone else, I'm gonna adapt his playstyle into mine." And that's what he. And I mean, the way he did it was. I'm liking this green aura. That's all I'm saying.
You like his green aura?
I'm liking this green aura. This green aura is actually looking kind of cool now.
I guess so. I don't know. Maybe it'll catch on to me later on. I still like the blue. Either way, basically how Isagi does it. He was dribbling past, so it looked like he was gonna pass it to Baru.
Yeah. So Right. So what ended up happening? They went on kickoff. Isagi had the ball. He was scoping out, looking at his options to Nagi. There was only like a very slim amount. I think there was like what, 2 that I saw.
Yeah, 2.
And
Because Rayo is basically like
hunting.
taking notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like 2 chances, and they have to be good balls. So obviously he's not really good as a passer. So what he ends up doing, as Kobayashi was saying, he ended up dribbling towards Baru, so he can probably. So it looks like he's gonna set it off to him. But then.
Yeah. So Isagi basically just like, it's like, I want to say cross, but he does essentially cross you. He just switches the field to Nagi. Rayo notices it. He's like, he tells Chigiri to not fall for Nagi's trap. Chigiri basically, he backpedals, almost gets sucked into Nagi's trap, but he was good enough where he didn't. But then Baru was making a run, and it catches everybody's attention. It catches Rayo, catches Kunigami, catches Chigiri. But Isagi knew that everyone's going to pay attention to Baru. So Isagi makes a curve run to attack from the blind spot of everybody.
I know, that curve run was sick.
And then him and Nagi make eye contact. He's like, oh, so that's what you're trying to do. So he finds the ball to Isagi. Isagi does his direct shot, makes it 3-2. You want to take it from here?
Yeah, I mean, they ended up going 3-2. And he ends up calling Baru, just stay out of our way, donkey.
Yeah.
And then this dude Baru, he's just fully in his head. It's just,
But really, yeah. Because basically he just used Baru as a decoy.
Yeah.
And that really like hurt Baru's like pride and stuff. One thing too, the donkey part, in the manga, they changed it because in the manga he's like, don't get in our way, you retard. But honestly, the donkey is a pretty good change because obviously they don't want to use retard because cancel culture, blah, blah, blah.
I'd rather use that one. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but the donkey, I feel like it was good because, obviously Baru likes to use the donkey word a lot. So to hit him back with the donkey word was pretty good. And yeah, basically this whole point, Isagi is trying to devour Baru. So that's his main goal for this.
Yeah, for this episode specifically.
So starting off kickoff, Rayo's like, oh man, I can't let Isagi like outdo me for Nagi. So he tries to, he actually dribble past Isagi, and then he plays the ball to Kunigami. But Baru at this point, he's really desperate for the ball because he knows that his teammates are going to pass it to him. So he's playing really good defense, so that's the only way he can get the ball. So Baru playing good defense, gets the ball off Kunigami. But Rayo, when he made the mistake, he pressured Baru, so it was a 2v1, and they poked the ball away. But Isagi already knew this. He already knew that Baru was going to get the ball because he's desperate. He knows he's not going to pass to anybody, and he knows the ball was going to get taken away. So Isagi just anticipated where the ball would go, and he was the first one to get the second ball chance. And then he plays it to Nagi. Does Nagi score again? I don't remember.
Nagi scores again.
Plays it to Nagi, and then Nagi just finishes off to make it 3-3. And at this point, obviously, Baru was really, really, really pissed. Because he used him as a decoy, and then secondly, he knew that he was going to get the ball taken away from him. So this is really hurting his pride right now. And then for the next goal, Makukin.
Straight off kickoff, and if you guys remember from like previous kickoff, they ended up just going into the Chigiri route where they'll just cross and they'll go for, Chigiri will go for the cross and end up crossing it to Kunigami. But Chigiri was like taking a mental note of Isagi because he was thinking, wait, he's evolving at an alarming rate. I'd rather let me evolve too. So then he ended up, instead of trapping the ball and then going, he ended up just poking the ball forward, which is, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of a common sense thing, which I would imagine he would, like normally you would always do that, but I mean, though it'd make it a little bit more dramatic. So he ended up just poking the ball forward a little bit, and he ended up scoring the goal himself. So now the score is what, 3-3?
4-3. 4-3 to Chigiri's team.
Yeah, and that's pretty much where it ended off. I don't know if you want to add another mental note to it.
I don't know. I just want to give out my prediction. I feel like it's going to be 4-4, obviously. And then Isagi's team, they're going to do a really good defensive play. And I believe the last goal, who do you think will score the last goal?
Baru.
Yeah, I think Baru is going to go last. Unless if you're going to make Baru like useless and make him score 0. But I feel like Baro will get the last goal and get the last laugh.
It wouldn't be a last laugh because I think this is gonna be what
Oh, yeah.
Isagi kind of precedented.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say a laugh, but like, you know.
Yeah, the last goal.
Yeah.
So I mean, his pride won't. I mean, his pride is not gonna be restored. I'm gonna be honest. He's gonna now think, wow, you were using me the entire time. You are like truly the egoist, or some like quote like that. That's what I'm kind of getting off of it.
Maybe, but yeah.
I mean, either way, guys, if there's any input you want to tell us, just go ahead and let us know in the comments down below. If there's any anime you would like us to talk about specific, please let us know. My name is Maku,
Kobayashi.
and thank you.